I'm single, and I learned this lesson, guys. If you're single, don't do what I did. I made this mistake this week. Don't hit on your bank teller while you only have $36 in your account. Yeah, I started talking to her. She's like, "Sir, are you hitting on me?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I can see how much money you have." I went for it anyway, you guys. I said, well, so what are you doing Friday? She goes, "Probably dealing with your overdraft fees."
If you're looking for the show that has all the best comics doing their best jokes from around the country, congratulations, you're watching it. If you're looking for some other show, sorry, it was canceled. This is Laughs. Hi, welcome to Laughs. I'm your host, Taylor Tomlinson, and tonight we have so many great comics that I'm not gonna say another word.
You ever want to get out of a text message conversation? Very easy. All you have to do is use emojis. Somebody's like, "You're a real jerk, you know that?" You just send a winky smiley face, and then for some reason, everybody's happy. Can't do that in real conversations, though. Like if your girlfriend is like, "I think you're cheating on me." You can't be like... Younger people, that's all they use is emojis. I dated a 21-year-old. You do that, you get pretty good at Pictionary. Text message, it's just a bunch of eggs. Oh, I got this. Either she wants breakfast or she's ovulating. People say that the children are our future. That's gonna be a weird future. Have you ever heard a 14-year-old girl speak? Like 50 years from now, you're gonna hear some woman like, "OMG, I can't even buy." And everybody's gonna be like, "That was a great State of the Union address."
Ladies, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those type men that's afraid of commitment, okay? I'm not. I'm afraid of committing to the wrong woman. It scares me. I think about it all the time. Every man is a certain type of way. You don't want to be linked up to somebody that you're not compatible with for the rest of your life. It's a long time. I'm gonna be honest, ladies, I'm kind of a freak. And I ain't trying to be linked up to some bashful chick for the rest of my life. It's my wedding night, AKA business time. She's sitting on the edge of the bed complaining about stupid stuff that don't matter right now. "Oh, Mike, it's too hot in here, and this harness you got me in is too tight." Listen. Why you acting like you don't know the safe word? You know what I'm saying? You're not even supposed to be talking. You breaking character. Why? Why you got me dressed like this if you ain't gonna play? This is stupid.
Like a lot of kids growing up, I ate really poorly and I was really overweight. And since I've lost the weight, I'm still a nice person, but at least I don't feel like I have to be. You know. When I was overweight and guys would be mean to me, like I'd just take it. But when guys are mean to me now, I'm like, hey, nobody talks to me like that. And if my boobs were a little bit bigger, I'd say that out loud. But I've always struggled with having a realistic body image. Like, I always wanted a body like Barbie. So I cut my nips off and sewed my crotch shut. Now I'm beautiful. I used to be bulimic, because I thought the only way a boy would like me was if I was skinny. But the truth is, it didn't matter what I looked like on the outside, as long as I put out.
You know, it takes years for a comic to get a joke exactly perfectly right. And then we watch it for hours and distill it down to minutes. And then we cut it down to seconds. The best seconds. Here are the best seconds.
Like, here's the thing. I think that if you're in a relationship, birthday sex should be a standard. You should do that. You have a birthday, you get some sex. But don't assume that's all you need to get that person for their birthday. Yeah. Happened to me. Our birthdays were 10 days apart. Hers comes first, so I buy her a stereo system and a dozen roses, tangible. My birthday rolls around 10 days later. She buys me lingerie that fit her better. Puts it on and is like, "Are you ready for your birthday present?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then we started kissing, and we started having sex. And I was like, oh man, this is an awesome thing to give me, like before you give me my birthday present. Thank you. And then she's just like, oh, happy birthday. I'm like, that's BS kinda, a little bit. Because I asked for an iPod dock to put my iPhone into, and that was not intended to be a euphemism.
My grandparents were married for 40 years, and I asked my grandpa, because I thought that was awesome, I said, how did you meet Grandma? And this is what my grandpa said, you guys. He said, well, actually, I found out where she lived, and I wrote her a letter. Yeah, oh. And I mailed it out, and I waited 2 or 3 days, and then I got a letter back from her to know she was interested. And I was like, wow, Grandpa, is that how the 3-day rule started? That's romantic, though. Think about it. Like, he went in the house, he found a piece of paper, a pen, an envelope, a stamp. He wrote, Dear Eileen. He wrote something romantic. He walked it to the mailbox in the snow, uphill, 5 miles, barefoot, both ways, and mailed that out. Like, ladies, would you not love a letter nowadays? Make some noise if you'd like a letter, yeah? Yes. Almost every lady in here would love a letter. So, guys, let's bring it back. I'm going to. Do what I do, guys. Now when a girl goes to give me your number, I'm going to say, no, 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 hon, give me your address. You ladies just said it was romantic.
I'm originally from Kentucky, and to be honest with you guys, I used to be embarrassed of that fact. I used to be embarrassed of my accent, the way I say finger, you know? Everybody makes fun of Kentucky. West Virginia makes fun of Kentucky. When in the hell did that start happening? I'm no longer embarrassed of where I happen to be born, you know? I've done comedy in all 50 states, and here's what I've learned. Rednecks are everywhere! They're every place I've ever been in my life. It's so depressing. They're in every city, every state. They're in Canada. Holy Canadian rednecks. I was not expecting that. It's not a regional issue. It's a human disease. There's Mexican rednecks and Australian rednecks and Belgian rednecks and 15th century French rednecks, and North Korea is ran by a damn redneck. They're all over the Middle East. You guys know what the definition of jihad is? A jihad is a fight or struggle against anybody who does not believe in the Islamic God. Redneck! It's all that is to me. You don't believe in what I believe, so therefore I'm gonna kill you. I don't think it's just a coincidence that jihad and yeehaw sound real similar. You guys would be amazed how many people hear this accent, automatically judge me. People will come up and they'll go, you're from the South? Do you have sex with your cousin? What? Charles Darwin married his cousin. His first cousin, Charles Darwin, probably the only man alive at the time who should have known better. How could you be working on the theory of natural selection during the day and winking at your damn cousin at dinner? I mean, Charles Darwin married his cousin, Albert Einstein married his cousin, Bach married his cousin, Thomas Jefferson married his cousin. Long story short, I've been emailing my cousin.
It's commercial break time, yay! Laughs will be right back. All right, good, because I need to check my Facebook real quick. Gotta see who else got married this week. Oh, good, Brittany from high school. That's good, she deserves it, for sure. Top of the pyramid, top of the world. Good. Are we still filming? Guys, cut to commercial. Sorry, Brittany, love you. Oh, hey, welcome back to Laughs. I totally didn't spend the break tweeting pictures of pugs in Halloween outfits. Okay, I did. And you can see them on Twitter at Laughs TV Show. And while you're there, chat with some of our favorite comedians, like this lady.
I am single, and that's hard for me because I'm not really good at it. Like, I have no game. Like, if I like a guy, I'll ignore him. But then, like, if I don't like a guy, I'll ignore him. I feel like I'm still single because I haven't ignored the right guy yet. I think I get that from my mom. Like, she always gives me dating advice. Her biggest dating advice is, play hard to get, Chrissie, play hard to get. I'm like, I gotta quit listening to you. You've been single since I was 4. You're playing that game too hard, Mom. It's not a professional sport. I think if it was an Olympic sport, they'd ask her to play, and she'd be like, I'm really flattered, but I already made plans that day, so. Excuse me. I think I would be booed up, though, like if I dress sexier. Oh, by the way, booed up, for those of you who don't know, means in a relationship. Okay. I think I'd be booed up if I dressed sexier. Because I always hear that men are visual creatures. You hear that? Men are visual creatures. They're visual creatures. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, okay? Cats, they can see in the dark. That's a visual creature. What, men get called visual creatures because they like the way their boobs look? That's... I think I'm just jealous, because women, we don't get called anything cool like that. What do we get called? Crazy? We get called crazy. I don't know. I think if anything, we should be called auditory creatures, because we hear stuff you didn't even say. It's true. Oh, you think I look good today? So I didn't look good yesterday. Okay, just checking.
I think I've slept with too many people. But it's not my fault. I have a medical condition. I have a lazy thigh. I just can't keep the darn thing shut. Just flies open like a screen door. Certainly there's people in here ashamed of their number. Yeah. Clap if you're, maybe too many. Or just blink, like we can just have a secret. Here's what you do. A lot of people sort of fudge their number of the people they've been with. You guys can just do what I do. It's much simpler math, okay? You take whatever your real number is, right? We all have that number. And then you just say 8. Eight is good, right? 8 is good. You hear 8. You're like, yeah, that chick's father loved her just the right amount. Just the right amount.
My family's a very interesting story. We came from Cuba when I was a little kid because my dad was a political prisoner. My dad actually protested communism in Cuba, and then he went to jail in Cuba, and then they deported us to the United States. Oh. You go, oh. Most of my Mexican friends are like, that's a good deal. What? Who gets deported to the United States? And I'm like, I know, I can't even pitch. It's pretty awesome.
They say laughter's the best medicine, and you might be at risk for an overdose. I'm sorry, that sounded better in my head, and then it came out of my head, and I was like, no. Laughs will be right back. Hi, friend. Sorry we had to spend that time apart, but I'm gonna make it up to you right now with some fresh and funky comedy. Funky sounds gross. I'm sorry I said it. Let's stick with fresh. Fresh comedy.
I'm actually biracial. My mom's black, my dad's Indian. I'm an engineer during the day because I'm half Indian. Yeah. It's one of the things we're qualified to do. It's funny though, none of my girlfriends take, they don't take my job or my credentials seriously at all. I went to school for 5+ years, have an applied math and mechanical engineering degree, have over $30,000 in student loan debt, and all my girls think I'm, the only thing I'm good for is putting together their IKEA bookshelves. That's the only purpose I serve in their lives. One of my friends called me up to help her put together her bookshelf. I knew it wasn't gonna go well because there were too many umlauts in the title. That's how I gauge how hard IKEA furniture is to put together, how many dots are above the vowels. That, and when I pulled out the picture instructions, there were 3 people on it and there were only 2 of us. It's like, yeah, we're missing a whole person right now. And it didn't work out. A few hours later, we're both standing there looking at all the parts and the pieces and the nuts and the bolts and that little ass wrench IKEA gives you to put together everything. My friend, she looks at me, she's like, I thought you were an engineer. What kind of engineer are you? You can't even put together a bookshelf. It's like, whoa, I am an engineer. Unfortunately, you did not need an engineer to put together said bookshelf. What you needed was either a handyman, a carpenter, or some dude that's trying to screw you that's good with a screwdriver. That's not who I am. Don't blame me because you don't date handy guys.
So I never really had money, and you know, you find ways to make it work. Like my mom raised me right. She was a single mom, so we always had like the generic brand everything, you know, generic foods, generic medicines. You know, you save a few bucks, and she'd be like, "Oh, relax, it has the same active ingredient in it." You know, it's like, "Oh, cool, great." And we used to get them from our generic doctor. He did everything a real doctor would do, but without the MD. You know. Thanks, Dr. Cook. Please, Mr. Cook. I didn't go to med school for 8 years. What? I didn't. You know, if you want to shop trendy, like if you want designer clothes, I'll give you all a hint. You know, it's kind of, you want to wear vintage clothes, and if you really want to be hip or whatever, and a good way to do it, instead of going to these fancy boutiques like they have in some of those cities and stuff, or wherever you might live, like I like to go to just like the Goodwill or Salvation Army. You know, like the really, not like the fancy boutique places, but like the really down home, like crusty, like, you know, like homeless people are going into these places like, oh, I don't need this anymore, I'm good on that, it's fine. But sometimes you're going through the clothes, and the last guy to wear the shirt or the clothing, like it still has the guy's name in the collar. You know, people put their name in their clothing. So I'm at the Salvation Army last week, and I'm going through all the clothes, and I kept seeing the same name show up in the clothing. And the name was Aaron Frost, right? It just kept coming up. And I noticed all of his clothes fit me perfectly and were exactly my style. Yeah, so I did it. I bought the entire Aaron Frost collection. Now I'm walking around town like I'm in my own exclusive designer label, you know? Girls are like, where did you get that? I'm like, it's Aaron Frost. She's like, he is so hip. I've never even heard of that guy. It went so well that I actually went back to the store just a couple days ago to see if I could get some new stuff, and I'm walking through the aisles, and I'm not making this up. This guy's like looking at me, kind of like grilling me. You know, like looking me up and down and stuff. And he's like, dude, he's like, I gotta ask you a question. Are you wearing my outfit? I'm like, are you Aaron Frost? Like, he's like, I am, and I gotta tell you, your stuff is so last season, you know? What do you think I'm here for? Did you bring the fall collection? Like, let's do it.
Do not get up. Laughs will be right back. It's a short break. Stop. What did I just... No. Down. Stop. No treats. Laughs will be right back. Look, there's always room for dessert, and tonight he's serving us some real good stuff. So then there's this with Tom Simmons.
A growing number of baby-faced men are opting to get whiskers surgically transplanted from the back of their scalps onto their faces. So if you see someone with a long beard, it might really just be a mullet. He's got a party in the front, he's got a party in the back. I'm not surprised there are men willing to spend thousands of dollars for fake beards, to be honest, because beards are cool. The amazing thing is that there are enough people that actually perform these procedures. Do you know how rare it is to flunk out of both med school and barber college? To be honest, it seems a little silly to spend 10 to 20 grand on a beard. What are the possible benefits that a beard could have? I mean, one of the guys who got the transplant said that it was hard for him as a paramedic because people didn't trust him because he was too baby-faced. That makes sense, because we all know how notoriously untrustworthy babies are. Personally, I don't trust a baby with a beard. Listen, guys, don't think you can get a beard plugs and then just magically earn the respect of a naturally bearded man. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, you gotta have patience to slowly grow a beard if you wanna pass yourself off as a philosopher or hipster. The majority of men who are interviewed about their beard transplants actually ask not to have their identities revealed. Because the first rule of Beard Club is, don't tell people that you're not man enough to grow a real beard. That'd be a cool commercial. It used to be my facial hair was as patchy as a meth head's employment history, but look at this. Thank you, Beard Club for Men. And you know, eventually these dudes are gonna go gray. They're gonna have to come out with a new line of just for men with the men in quotes. Some guys don't have the face to pull off the no beard.
All right, I wanted to end the show with a big musical number, but we couldn't get the rights to send in the clowns, so tonight I'm going to be performing Thriller by Michael Jackson. We didn't get the rights to that either? Come on, God, I wore the jacket. All right, well, show's over. There's always next week. Cancel the zombies. Nope, we're done. Like what you just saw? Subscribe below to our YouTube channel and you can see even more. I'm not suggesting. Like, do it now. I can see you. I will wait.